What's up, Kissables? It's the Kissable Diva. I am your love coach and your date night expert. Thank you for tuning in to the Kissable Nights podcast, where we discuss everything love, sex, and relationships. So tonight, we're going to talk about tips on how to get through a dry spell. I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to get through a dry spell. So, first of all, as we've been talking about, or as I preach all the time, communication is key. So, your first tip would be to have that conversation. Accept the awkwardness. And you have to keep in mind that, even if you don't have children, you do have, your job, extracurricular activities. You may have family. A lot of busy couples' jobs take a lot of their time. And sometimes things can become of a routine nature. When you're coming home, you get up every morning, you either work out or you get up every morning, you make breakfast, you go to work, indulge yourself in work. And then after work, you would come home, make dinner or go buy dinner, something to go. You'll go buy dinner, come home, and you'll start the whole routine over again. And sometimes you don't even speak to each other because some couples, one would work in the morning and one would work in the evening, and they'll just be passing by each other, have a few minutes with each other saying hello or however. So it's easy to drop into dry spells when being in a relationship, but you just have to recognize it and not sit back and just see what happens. Or, if you recognize it before your partner, you want to make sure that you communicate that, or you want to make sure that you kind of change the environment, which we will be talking about. So having the conversation and being comfortable with being uncomfortable talking about those things, because I've met men and women in relationships that they don't like to express verbally that they're going through a dry spell, that they're not getting the sex that they're looking for, or they're not getting the affection. Sometimes it is not really the sex or quote unquote penetration, but it's more so paying attention to your spouse. It's more so giving a nice deep hug, like holding the hugs longer than usual. Or it's more so having more of a conversation of how your day was. And it does take time. And sometimes when you're so busy and you come home and you're drained, your job drains you, and you really don't have that much energy to see what is going on with your partner and what's happening. So that is one of the things that I feel like is very important, is to make sure that you have a conversation with your significant other about what is going on. Make sure to stop and take a moment and kind of evaluate what it is that you want to communicate to your partner. Sometimes, you just sitting there and saying, well, how's it going? How do you feel that, we are doing right now? Do you feel like we could be doing more? Is there a way that we can work in spending more time with each other? Sometimes you just do it. You just change the atmosphere, and when they come home, they see something different. I.e., the happy hour at home that we discussed some episodes ago, where you can just do do something special to where you can have their favorite drink, whether it's like a can of Coke, some tea, or their favorite snack or something like that when they come home, so they can understand, hey, I'm thinking of you and I would like some of your attention. I want some of your attention. So, hey, how you doing? I realize that you're coming home from work and, you're tired and everything, but I made a bubble bath for you. I did this for you. Sometimes you just kind of got to be uncomfortable to have those conversations to let your partner know that, hey, we are actually going through a dry spell. Or, if you know that this is something that happens or cycles, because everything does go through a cycle. And when you're in a relationship and different things happen throughout the year, sometimes you have those cycles where you're not as intimate as you were, a few months ago. But once that cycle changes, everything else will change. The libido will pick up, and attention, you kind of, again, have to learn your partner. And if you feel like those cycles are running too long, then you do something to change it up. So that was tip number 1. Make sure to have the conversation, because there's nothing like communicating how you feel and what you observe in your own relationship. 2, take the lead. Sometimes some people don't even try to, change it up a bit. I've spoken to couples and they're like, there'll be one side, whether it's male or female, well, they always initiate it. Like it's something wrong because they're not initiating it. And my thing is, why wait for it to be initiated? You both have already consented to be together. And some couples, they only look for the man to initiate it, or they only look for the woman to initiate it. Don't wait on that. If you are feeling it, start doing your foreplay. Start doing, if you are kissing type. Some couples don't kiss, or kiss a lot rather. If that's something that you do, start doing it. Just do it. And I've spoken to one young lady where she felt it was uncomfortable for her to try to initiate anything sexual with her husband. And I thought that was absolutely crazy that she felt that way with her husband, who she's known for years. So for her to say, I kind of feel uncomfortable trying to initiate anything because, I kind of feel stupid. Well, if you feel that way, I feel, like I said, the first tip is to have that conversation. Let them know, what is it that you like? Do you like it when I do this? Do you like it when I do that? Does this turn you on? I mean, it's okay to ask. It's okay to see what it is that turns your partner on. It's okay. So once you find those things out, then okay, so if I do this, I don't have to feel awkward because I already automatically know what his or her reaction will be. It is okay, you guys. It's okay to ask questions. That's not something to be said. I mean, something that just is done and automatically received. All the time, it's not like that. Sometimes you have to realize that you have to take the lead. If you're the one that is always waiting for it to be initiated, sometimes your partner is tired of initiating it. They feel like, the only way I'm going to get anything sexually from my partner is if I start something, or if I start the foreplay. They don't want to be the one to always start it. And sometimes they don't express it. They do not express it. So one thing I would love for the couples that I do speak with is to start, especially when it comes to sex, to start conversing, start talking about it. I mean, I loved asking my past partner, I loved asking, what did you like about it? What would you like different? What would, I loved picking his brain to see what it is that he really likes about it. And then I would expand on it and, make the experience a little bit more, a little bit more deeper, a little bit more adventurous, So it's good to ask those questions. So take the lead. All right. So the third tip is change your environment. That's why I'm always asking couples to do staycations or to take a mini vacation so that you can change your environment. If you change your environment, it changes your headspace. It frees up room for you to change your mood. If your mood is changed, then you're opened up to receiving your partner more, receiving their needs, and they they receive your needs. And that way you both can communicate a little bit better, where it's not all about the sex, but it's more so about that quality time and spending those moments together. Taking time away from your life or your so-called reality gives you so much, it frees you up for so much. I remember doing, I'm in Florida, so I remember doing a Bahamas trip for a weekend, and I could not believe, because I hadn't, done a trip in a while before that, and I could not believe when I made it to the Bahamas and I got on the beach and I saw blue, clear water, that it instantly changed my mood. Instantly. I forgot everything back at home. If it could erase memory, it could have got done that day. When I saw that water, it changed my mood. And even, you guys have to experience having a massage on the beach while the wind is blowing and the crashing of the waves. It is the best experience ever. And I will never forget it, because it was a change of atmosphere and it changed my mood. So invest in changing your mood. If you don't want to leave the house, change up the bedroom. Change up the colors in the room. And that also changes your mood as well. If you don't want to leave the house, some people do. They feel like leaving the house gives them a sense of different environment. It changes recently I heard the ecosystem that you have going on. It changes it. So 3, make sure to change your environment. It changes your headspace, frees up room to change your mood. Okay, so tip number 4, trying a new position. So being open to try a new position. And, if you don't know what that is, because some couples, it's amazing, they minimize intimacy just to get down to the punchline. And you already know there is a punchline, but you want to kind of expand the intimacy. And it's not so much penetration, it's more so of the foreplay, of the kissing, of even with foreplay, you could add edible foods like strawberries, watermelon, grapes. It could be chocolate. It could be honey. It's so many other things that you can incorporate when it comes to being sensual and with food. It's okay to do it with food. Some people probably feel like that is gross. That's fine. You don't have to do food. Some people may love the idea of introducing food when it comes to intimacy. And I'm not saying, you can go as far. I do also have another episode where what you can do with the body chocolate, make sure you wrap your bed up nice so that you don't mess it up. And maybe you could do something different with body chocolate. If you're not a chocolate person and you just want to do an oil massage, you can do that. So, again, I would kind of put something on over the bed so that you don't mess up your sheets. Do something where you are connecting on a more deeper level besides your conversation. You could do it more so on a physical layer. So 4, try a new position or remix it up. So this is the last tip, number 5. So kissable moments, right? You want to take those kissable moments, I call them kissable moments, where it's longer kisses, it's more massages, it's a more eventful foreplay. Sometimes you don't want to do the same thing when it comes to foreplay, even though okay, when I kiss her on her right lobe, I know that she is ready. Maybe you could do a little bit more where you kind prolong or spread out the time that you go to her right lobe. Maybe you could do a more of a massage or a foot massage, or rub the legs or rub the arms, do a hand massage. You don't necessarily have to do the whole body. You could just do a hand massage. You could just do a foot massage. I mean, trying out new things, because sometimes when you try out new things with your partner, you realize that you may like those different things, and it enhances the experience so much more. And it could be, I mean, even though you come into the relationship, hey, this is what I like, this is what I want you to do, you experimenting and opening up to what your partner can do and what you could do to your partner opens you up to have a much grander experience. Because like I said, when those new experiences come about, it makes it so much, it stands out in your mind so much better, and it can help you relieve so much stress. And the next day you're at work and you are just smiling others thinks for no reason. And you could be in the middle of a conversation and all of a sudden you just bust out in this wonderful smile, and they're looking at you like, I mean, all I said was that I was having potato chips with my sandwich. Like, why was that such a wonderful smile for that? But no, it'll come to you instantly throughout the day of the very special moments that you have shared with your significant other. So those kissable moments, and all of these things do not have to be all at the same time. I mean, come home, have a wonderful bubble bath made, and whatever y'all do for dinner, you do for dinner. I'm not saying you have to do all of these things step by step every day, or when you want to be romantic, do these things. But these things, putting them in, having these moments where you kind of just let your partner know, hey, I see you, I acknowledge you, they are so important. And you, even if it's just coming in and hugging your partner and just holding them for 2 or 3 minutes, inhaling and exhaling, can help you calm down. It can help you calm down. It can help you release from the day, and it helps you be able to receive your partner and whatever they have to say, or maybe they don't have to say anything. Maybe just so that you're okay with them being in the space. Because sometimes when you come home and you kind of wish that the partner, or hope that the partner's not there yet, so that you can have the house to yourself. Absolutely know the feeling. Having the house to yourself when it's just quiet and it's just you, it's a wonderful, somber moment. And this is with those with kids or without. And, when the kids are not home, I love it when my daughter's not there and nobody's home and I am just calm. And it is the most, and it's easier to think about and meditate and just come down to yourself and, just relax and become one with yourself. It's so easy. So if you come home and your partner's already there and you're able to have this like long embrace, it kind of helps speed up that process of hugging them, embracing them, and letting them just relax. Letting them relax and go do what they need to do to get themselves together for the rest of the night. And then they're able to be okay with the partner being in that space, because there are a lot of people who love their alone time, like absolutely love it, to the point where they feel like they have to have a den or a room to themselves in their home that they're sharing with their significant other. And to the point where that's where they calm down or come, detox or whatever they need to do. They have to go to that room, and it's almost like they go to that room all the time because they love that alone time, which is absolutely okay. It's nothing wrong with that, but you have to learn how to balance it out. So, Kissables, I just wanted to come on here and give you tips on a dry spell, and just to go through those steps again. 1, make sure you have the conversation. Make sure to communicate. It's utterly important. You want to be able to express yourself. If you can't do it with words, make sure you write it down in a letter on a piece of paper. something like that. Make sure that you are communicating to your partner how you feel when you're going through these dry spells. And if you know your routine, if you pay attention to what your routine is, then you can say, okay, well, what can I change here so that we can minimize the dry spell? Or, because you're going to do it, they're inevitable, but you want to make sure that you're paying attention to it and not exhausting yourself trying to do it. You want to make sure that you are available, emotionally available, and available for your partner and yourself to enjoy the moments that you both have together. I mean, that's the reason why it solidifies your foundation with being with each other so much, is because you recognize your partner and why they're there, and you show them that you appreciate them. So in these dry spells, those are some of the things that you can think about. So 1, having the conversation. 2, take the lead sometimes. It's okay. Take the lead after you have that conversation and say, babe, do you like it when I do this? Do you like it when I do that? Do you mind initiating all the time? Do you want me to do it sometimes? Or maybe sometimes just don't. Just surprise them and walk in with their favorite piece of lingerie. The red pumps. The red pumps are supposed to be something that's such a big thing. But honey, he might not like red pumps. He might just like you in Timberlands. Who knows? He might like you barefooted. However your partner enjoys you, or you enjoy your partner, you do that. Take the lead sometimes. Number 3, change your environment. You can change the environment that you're living in. You can change the environment by leaving the house for a night, for a couple days. I told you that the Bahamas water, the blue water, it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous, and it is calling me. I'll be back real soon, Bahamas. So make sure you change your environment. It helps you. It helps your mood. It helps you clear your headspace and make room to change your mood. Okay? 4 is remix. Remix it up. Change your positions. Add food. Add massaging. Change it up. You don't necessarily have to do the same thing every time. You don't have to. If you want to, of course, it's your choice. But just know that it's not written in stone. You don't have to. You don't have to do that. You can change it up. And again, start with number 1. Have that conversation. Is that something that you want to explore? I'm telling you, once you explore something new with your partner, you're going to find that you may like those things and that you may want to add it to your sexual repertoire. Okay? All right. So number 5, last but not least, those kissable moments, right? So it's not necessarily all about, penetration or, sex all the time. It's not necessarily all about that, but it could be those long walks on the beach that everybody says that they like when they first meet them. Yeah, it could be those long walks on the beach. That's when you can kind of work that in the relationship if you ever said that to your partner, but y'all never do it. Or it don't have to be the beach. It could be long walks in the neighborhood, long walks on the trail. You find yourself talking. You find yourself just doing more things together. It's better. It could be more foreplay. You could change up your foreplay. You can make the foreplay longer. It doesn't necessarily, if your partner is trying to initiate and you're not really into it, you can enjoy the foreplay with them. Let them know, hey, baby, I'm tired, but, I really, want to let you know that I see you, I appreciate you, and, doing the foreplay a little bit longer may help them. Now, to me, I feel like it's more of a tease, but, whatever that you and your partner are comfortable with, okay? Longer kisses, massages, these are things that most people feel like they have to do all in one sexual session, which is not reality. You could just do a massage before you go to bed so that you can help you relax before you go to sleep. You don't necessarily have to have sex or have to have penetration, but you can do the massage before you go to sleep, and it makes your sleep so much better. You're so much more relaxed. The body is very relaxed and able to go to sleep. Sometimes it's just good to be touched. You know what I'm saying? So good to be touched and Just, again, letting your partner know that you see them, you appreciate them, and that, even though you have these lives of working and coming home and sometimes falling into these routines, changing it up or acknowledging them in that way can help with those dry spells. So, Kissables, I hope these 5 tips helped you. I really enjoyed talking about them and going into them with you a little bit more. Should you have any other questions or anything that you want to talk to me about, email me at info@Kissable Retreats, at Kiss Retreats on Instagram and Twitter. We are starting to put up videos on our YouTube channel, so make sure to follow Kissable Retreats on YouTube. I want you guys to hit me up with date night of the week. You tell me what you would do for your date night of the week. I've been giving you quite a few this past season, or this season here. I've been giving you quite a few, so go ahead, send me, tweet me, Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. Anything that has to do with Kissable Retreats, let me know what your date night of the week is. You could give those that are listening some type of idea of what they can do in their own time. I think that'll be good. So anyway, thank you guys for listening to the Kissable Nights podcast, where we discuss everything love, sex, and relationships. I am your love coach, the Kissable Diva. I am your date night expert. Thank you so much for listening, y'all. Y'all make sure to keep it kissable. See you next week. Peace.